Peace. Welcome to Holistic Intuition, where we collectively explore health, raised consciousness, and overall holistic experiences such as self-love, cultural privilege, confidence, sex, friendships, oppressive systems, and much, much more, while encouraging you to be your best guide in this human experience through helping each other connect more deeply with ourselves.
Peace, y'all. Thank you for joining me on episode 4 of Holistic Intuition. I can't believe we're really on episode 4. Like, it's crazy starting to see shit like come together. You know, I'm getting more just content on my page, more content for my TikTok. My notebook is just filling up. Like, it's just super exciting. So thank you to everyone that's been tuning in. Thank you to everyone that's been giving me feedback when asked. Yeah, I look forward to these a lot, and hearing what you guys have to say about it is wonderful. So I appreciate all the support. Last week we touched on a whole slew of topics, but it was like an intro, you know, it was a basic introduction to what is food, really, you know, what things are we eating that are food-like, how does food affect us, a little bit on Dr. Sebi, on being alkaline vegan, on my journey, and so on and so forth. And I was talking to someone who has been, you know, supporting my podcast and everything, and I was asking their feedback, and they said something along the lines of like, you know, it can be really overwhelming to be inundated with all of this different information, and it's constantly contradicting itself. And I agree, you know, it is. It's not, this information is not easy to find. You're not going to go on Google, look at who owns at Google, you know, who owns Google. You're not going to just go on Google and find these things that I'm telling you about. So usually it's going to tell you the opposite. I'm telling you not to drink milk, it's going to tell you milk is there for strong bones. You know, so it is definitely overwhelming. But they were pointing out how, you know, having an episode or just some resources on steps that they can take, you know, okay, so now we know what's not good. I gave you a brief introduction to what's not good. Now what can I substitute? What can I make? What can I start to cultivate as healthy habits in my life? And the first thing I want to say is, well, that's what today's episode is going to be on, you know, but my first thing is I really believe that you are your own best guide. Our experience and the things that teaches us is something that nobody can give to us. Nobody can just tell you what to do, really. You know, it's not that simple. You have to really feel it for yourself. You have to explore for yourself. So while today's episode is on some introduction to things that you can do to really uplift your daily life, I really recommend you to do your own research. And research does not always mean, and it really rarely means, scientific research. Okay, research just means being explorative. And part of that exploration is with yourself. So as you explore these different things, you'll be able to go inward and really evaluate, like, okay, this is how I feel before I did this thing. Now, how do I feel after? And that's how you really tell if something is working, okay? Use your own intuitive guides. We put so much faith and trust into outside sources, and that's the reason why things are marketed the way they are. Oh, well, this person has a doctor's degree, so they know more than you. The fuck? They got a paid credential from a predominantly white upper class institution, so they know more than my own guidance system? No. And I'm not saying you can't take, you know, research studies. I'm not saying you can't take other people's opinions and evaluate it, but that should not be our number one resource, okay? So that was first and foremost, but today is just going to be really a simple, hopefully this is going to be a short video, just like a short guide on things that you can do, steps you can take right now that are going to improve your daily functioning. There's no like ifs, ands, or buts. It's going to improve your daily functioning. It's going to improve your digestive system. It's going to improve your sex life. It's going to improve your emotions. It's going to improve your elimination processes. So many things. It's going to release tension. So these are some things that I do on a daily basis. And I invite you to find your own ways. If we know now that we shouldn't be eating meat, we shouldn't be eating dairy, we shouldn't be eating heavy grains and breads and beans and rice and all these things that create inflammation and mucus and lead to dis-ease in the body, then what should we be eating? Okay, let's get into it. Number one, it's not just what you're eating, it's how you're eating, and it's the time of the day that you're eating, because your body follows all of these different clocks. You know, you have your circadian rhythm, which is like your sleep cycle clock. If you are a woman, you have your reproductive cycle. Our body is constantly in cycles, just like nature is. The moon has cycles. The seasons are cycles. And that's something that you can become more in tune with. So that's something that I've been more in tune with recently is understanding the cycles of what's going on in the sky and how that affects my emotions, how that affects my productivity, how that affects my tiredness. And when I understand what's going on in the sky, I can more easily maneuver through my day without pushing too hard, you know? So that's one thing I recommend definitely looking into. But this is based off Dr. Sebi. This is called the Laws of Eating in Rhythm. I will link, or maybe I'll just put like a little thing up here. I'll do something so you guys can see a visual of it. But basically, he divided our eating patterns into 3 parts of the day. So you have 5 a.m. to noon, you have noon to 3, and then you have 3 to 8. So from 5 to noon, we should not be having any heavy foods at all, okay? This time of day is for your body to eliminate. It's to cleanse, it's to flush out everything that was taken in the day before. Now, if you start the day with a bacon, egg, and cheese, or if you're vegan and you start the day with tofu, which is horrible for you too, you are not allowing your body that natural time to get rid of what it needs to get rid of. So what happens? You have a buildup of elimination. Where does that go? All of those pounds and pounds of waste just sit in your colon. So people think, oh, this is fat on me. No, it's not. It's built up waste. So what should you be having from 5 to noon? You should be having herbal teas, which I'll show you in a little bit what I have. You should be having fruit juices or just fruit. It's okay to eat just normal fruit. When I was starting out more, I would have a lot of smoothies, and that was fine. Smoothies are great to have, but just my personal preference on how I've kind of evolved in my food journey is that smoothies for me, they have a lot of fiber because you're not straining out all that pulp. So it's just a little too filling. My stomach feels too heavy, and I like to feel very light throughout the day. In the healthiest way possible, I like my stomach to feel as light as I can. Does that mean I'm going through the day hungry? Not at all. I don't feel hungry at all. But I don't want to feel full. Okay, we're so conditioned to feeling full. Full is not normal. Being satiated, being satisfied is the goal of nourishment, but it's not to be full. You know, that's not a good feeling. So let me show you real quick what I have so as you can see, I have orange juice. I make my own juices almost every morning. I love orange juice in the morning. I love seeded grape juice. That shit is amazing. Like, you don't need any added sugar or agave. You don't need anything. That shit is delicious. It's sweet. Sometimes I make apple juice. I want to start doing more, like getting more creative with it and, you know, combining different juices. Mango juice. Okay, my bad. It's apartment living. You feel me? A lot of noises. But I was saying about my TikTok, that on my TikTok I have a video on how to make fresh mango juice without a juicer. You know, a lot of us think that we need a juicer. I make this like super old-fashioned. I have this little like thing that I put half an orange on and I just squeeze it back and forth. You don't need fancy shit. You don't need to spend a lot of money. This is simple, it's quick, it's easy, it's nutrient dense. And the thing about having fruit juices is your elimination process is extremely smooth. It's just like your body is just like loving what you're giving it because you're not stuffing it. Okay, I'm not eating heavy. I'm not even hungry when I rise, really. I'm more just like, oh, I feel a little bit of a hunger cue. Okay, let me have some juice. Let me have some key lime water. That's another thing you can do. Key limes, I wish I had one, but we're out. Key limes are really small. So key limes are really small. They're smaller than regular limes, but they're alkaline and they have seeds. Every single fruit should have seeds. Don't be eating grapes with no seeds and seedless watermelon, all this weird GMO shit that affects which gives you allergies, which affects your mucus, all this shit. None of that. Okay, so juices, key lime water, just squeeze like maybe 1 to 2 key limes in your water, and that will aid in your elimination. It helps with your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is like your detox center. So if you're helping it get rid of all of these toxins, it's like, there's something about key lime water that just does it for me in the morning. Like, I don't even want to drink regular water because it makes me feel full, but the key lime water makes me feel lighter, like I'm truly am eliminating, because that's what is happening. So let me show you some herbs that I take. What you want to do is put your herbs in a glass container or something safe like that, but I'm still in the process of getting that, so all my herbs are still in the package. And majority of my herbs I get from Napoli Naturals, which is a store located in Crenshaw, LA. But they're also online. I don't know if you can get herbs online, but you can get a lot of their other stuff online. They're a great local Black business to support, full of just good energy, a lot of love in there, a lot of just great conversations. I really recommend it if you're in LA, and if not, go check out their website. But this is one blend that I got from them, and this is specifically a female reproductive blend. So about a week, I take this a lot, but like specifically a week before my cycle to keep my womb warm, I'll take this, and then during my cycle. But this is composed of raspberry leaf, which is wonderful for your reproductive system, dong quai, and black cohosh root. You can go look up everything, all the benefits for those. And then this is another one that I take. This is their respiratory rescue blend, which has mullein, damiana, I don't know if I'm pronouncing all these right, to be honest, lobelia, elderberry, elderflower, and ginger. And then this one is more of a nighttime type of tea because it's chamomile and lavender. And then I think there's something else in here. And African robios. I don't remember how to say that one. But this is a great one to relax your body, relax your muscles before sleep. But that's a separate issue. We're talking about the morning. So morning, like I said, juices, key lime water, your herbs, and Yeah, so like, you know, fruit. The thing is, fruit is naturally a cleanser to our body. So any sort of organic seeded fruit is perfect. You don't need it, you know, it doesn't need to be a specific thing. Find whatever you love, you know, be creative. So next, let's go to 12 to 3. Now, this is the part of the day where you're wanting to eat more raw things. So like raw veggies. I'll get into later kind of like a breakdown of what I eat during the day. But this part of the day is you're trying to replenish your cells. You know, first you are cleansing, you are eliminating the waste, right? Now, okay, we need to replenish it with all these minerals. So you're replenishing the cells through feeding the body minerals. One of those minerals is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green pigment that is found in plants. It is full of antioxidants. Antioxidants, they slow or prevent the damage to your cells. So antioxidants are found in an abundance of things, you know, like common superfoods like acai, you know, blueberries, those types of things also have antioxidants. So a lot of raw veggies during this time. This could be a great time to have a light salad. What I like to have during this time is I make homemade hummus a lot, and then just have a bunch of raw veggies that I just snack on with the hummus. Well, cucumber is technically a fruit, but cucumber, I'll sometimes just dip some kale. Honestly, a lot of the stuff is fruit, like tomato, I'll put tomato in there, some pepper maybe, really just like whatever I feel like dipping the hummus in. And another thing is hummus is very diverse. You can make all different types of hummuses, and it's super easy to make. Hummus is just made out of chickpeas, which are also known as garbanzo beans, which is not even a bean itself. But it's super easy to make. You can make avocado hummus, you can make roasted red pepper hummus. Don't allow society to tell you that these ways of eating are boring. This is the most fun I've ever had in the kitchen, was being alkaline plant-based, and I'll get into that more when we get into the 3 to 8 o'clock part. But this is just the time to eat light, but give your body just some minerals, you know, just give it some love, you know. So I guess that is all I want to say about the 12 to 3. Now let's go to 3 to 8. Now I'm working on making my dinner time even earlier, but I would say I generally eat somewhere around like 8 o'clock. But I want to make that even earlier and stop eating even earlier, because when you eat late, you're not giving your body enough time to digest. And then what's happening? You're laying flat on the bed, so your body has to work even harder because it's fighting against gravity. And then it's taking away energy that is needed to pour into your body while you're sleeping to fix all the areas that need to be fixed. But if your body has to worry about digesting the food that you ate too late, it can't go and work on this scab that needs to be helped, and this organ that needs some help, and this cell that needs some help. So that's really important. Is it's not just, oh, let me eat a really healthy meal at 11 at night. Then it's not healthy anymore. You know, like, yes, the minerals are healthy, but what you're actually doing to your body is not healthy. So 3 to 8 is your solid and or cooked food period. Some people eat raw, which means they don't eat anything that is over a certain temperature, cooked at a certain temperature, and that temperature is the highest recorded temperature that the sun has ever been at. So people that consider themselves raw don't eat anything that's over that temperature, cooked over that temperature. So certain foods do give off different nutrients when they are cooked. It breaks down the cell walls so the nutrients can be absorbed easier when the nutrients are released. So there, you know, you'll hear different schools of thoughts on raw food versus cooked food, and I've noticed in my own body that I do feel better when I eat primarily raw, but I still do like to have usually like one cooked meal a day. Sometimes I'll go the full day raw if that's just how I feel, but for the most part, and I just love to cook now, like I was saying, like I just love to be creative in the kitchen. It is amazing when you really start to understand the ingredients you're using and how to use them and how many ways they can be used, the variety. It will completely open your mind to the things that you can make. So for example, regular bananas from the store are not real bananas. They are genetically modified. That's why they all look the same. That's why they all have that very strange yellow rubber ducky color. All DNA in every banana is the same because it's modified. So a real banana, an alkaline banana, a banana that is naturally occurring in nature, is a burro banana. They're a little bit smaller, and you can usually find them at Asian markets. So what you can do is when they're still very unripe and in that green stage, they're hard, right? And what it does, it resembles, when cooked, a potato. Which is like, when I found that out, I thought that that was the coolest shit ever, because I love potatoes. And to think about, you know, giving up potatoes is like, okay, if that's what I have to do, then I love myself enough to do it. But it was gonna be kind of like, damn, I love mashed potatoes, and I love home fries, and I love French fries, and I just love potatoes. You don't have to miss shit. The burro bananas are amazing. Like when I tell you, the first time I made burro banana French fries, I was like, I can't believe this is real. I'm eating a banana that tastes like a motherfucking French fry. Because it's in it, it's still starchy, you know, and it's not fake starch, you know, it's just in its natural state, but it's much firmer. So I've made French fries from it, I've made home fries, I have the most amazing mashed potato recipe that I have to show you guys, because that shit is so fucking good, and I'm making it for whatever we want to call Thanksgiving, Indigenous Peoples Day. We're gonna have to find something else because we're not calling it Thanksgiving. But yeah, burro bananas is just one example of something that can easily be interchanged and you're not gonna miss it, and it's nutrient dense, and it's not a fake fucking banana. So let me give you an example of how I eat throughout the day. So this morning, this rising, I had some water. Like I said, we're out of key limes. Oh my gosh. And we forgot to do our intention. All right, we're gonna do it after. But I had some water, and then I made this fresh squeezed orange juice. And then after I record this, I'm gonna make some of my respiratory blend because I feel some mucus in me. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold. So I'll have that, and then most likely later I'll probably have hummus. Sometimes I make like a little wrap taco type thing with like on a bed of kale. I'll put avocado, some hummus, cucumber, tomato, bell pepper, maybe an onion sometimes, and then put different herbs on top, because the thing we have to remember is we think that the things we love taste delicious, but that it is not the thing that we love. It is the plants. No one's eating a motherfucking steak with no seasoning on it. No one's eating chicken that has not been motherfucking seasoned. And if you are, that's fucking disgusting, okay? No disrespect, but that's just disgusting. So what's making it taste good? The plants. All the herbs you're putting on it. The rosemary, the salt, the pepper, the cilantro, the thyme. That's the shit that makes it taste good, okay? So once you start exploring more with herbs, it's like there are over, and I think I said this before, there are over 200,000 edible plants. There are so many herbs that you can explore, and once you start exploring with these herbs, it's like the different taste palettes, the different, I don't know what word I'm looking for, the different tastes that you can experience is really exciting, honestly. It's super exciting to try these different things, and it's like, oh, I'm not just using garlic salt. Garlic is toxic, it's acidic, we shouldn't be having garlic, okay? But how easy was it before for me to just sprinkle garlic salt on? Yeah, it tasted good, but now that I'm using herbs, there's way more flavor, way more flavor. So, like I was saying, then I'll put on, I love cilantro, and cilantro is a great herb to detox heavy metals out of your body, which we're constantly in contact with. They put mercury in our water, they spray aluminum in the sky, so we need to be constantly detoxing our body of heavy metals. Also, if you took something, you need to detox your body of heavy metals. Cilantro is a great way to do that. Maybe I'll put some thyme on, maybe some rosemary, parsley is great too. So I'll have that as a snack. And I also just love drinks, like I love making drinks. So maybe I'll make an iced chai, maybe I'll make an iced hibiscus tea. I have some, hold on one second, let me show you guys. I got this from Ovallarta. You can just get it from any Hispanic market. It's literally just hibiscus petals. Just boil it with some water, and I like to add some key lime and some agave. Delicious. Trying to think if there's anything else that I really drink-wise. Probably it'll come to me, but really this is your time to just explore, be creative, you know, go on YouTube, look up different alkaline accounts, go on Instagram, maybe buy an ebook. This is not boring, okay? Like, this is like, we have been indoctrinated to believe that eating this way is boring and we eat the same thing every day, and all that shit is just bullshit, okay? It's just bullshit. And another thing is let's say, you know, you're telling yourself, okay, I want to feel better. I want to feel healthier. I want to poop more. I want my skin to be better. I want my blood flow to be better, because also, you know, this might not be as much of an issue for younger men, even though it still is there. But if you're not eating the way you're supposed to eat, your penis is not going to react the way it's supposed to react. Period. Okay, you might not get hard at all, but if you start eating healthier, you will see a change in your erections. Same thing for women. If you're eating healthier, your vagina is going to be more lubricated. Your cycles are going to drastically change. When I say drastically, bitch, I mean drastically. You will not have major cramps. You will not have heavy bleeding. Your period will be shorter. It will be lighter. Your breasts won't be tender. You won't be going through all these different emotions. You will have minimal to no breaking out acne. I can tell you from experience, okay? And many other women can too. So what I was saying is, if you are looking for those types of results and you're looking to implement these foods, great. But you cannot keep eating the way you're eating and then just throw in a few different foods and say, well, why aren't I feeling better? You need to get rid of the things that are causing mucus, that are causing cancer. You need to detox. You can detox and have a water fast for a day. You can have a mono juice fast for a day. You can buy a detox from Ancient Artery. I'll link her thing. We did her detox. It was great. So that your cells have a clean environment. But I was just saying that, like, let's just picture that you have a really disgusting oven. You know, you haven't cleaned it, there's food stuck everywhere, there's burnt shit, you know, and then you're like, you know what, let me put this beautifully healthy dish in the oven to cook. That's disgusting. There's all this bacteria in there. There's all this old food and gunk stuck to the fucking wall, and you're gonna put this delicious meal that you're gonna serve yourself and all these people? No. It's the same thing with our body. So if you're ready to introduce the healthy, so I was saying how if you're gonna start introducing these healthy foods, you first need to make sure that your cells or the oven are clean, that they're in a clean environment, because they're not even gonna fully take in the things that they're supposed to when they've been used to getting shit. Literally shit. Most of the things we're eating are not food. They're food-like. They're made in labs. They're made with chemicals that we would never go out, and we don't even know how to pronounce half these chemicals. Would we go out and buy this chemical and eat it? No, but we're fine with eating hot Cheetos because it's called hot Cheetos? Come on. So detoxing and fasting is extremely important before you change your living. And we're gonna have a whole episode just on that. Oh yeah, okay. Well then that's pretty much what I wanna say on the food for now. You know, the times you're eating, how you're eating, and the intention that's going into it when you're eating. Are you thinking about the nutrients of this orange juice? Are you thinking about whose hands brought this to your table? Or are you just thinking, I just want to eat because I'm hungry? Your thoughts are going to have an effect on how the nutrients are absorbed into your body. Everything is made up of energy. Every single thing. So to think that me not speaking highly of this orange juice, of me not putting affirmations into this juice are not going to affect me are naive. And if you want to look at studies, if you want scientific backing, then there are plenty of people that have done studies like that. I can't remember his name. Dr. Emoto, I think is his name. He was a Japanese scientist. He did a lot of experiments on water. And through that, his results are basically what I'm telling you. You know, that if you give positive affirmations to your food, to whatever you're ingesting, it will have an effect on you. So let's segue from food to now other parts of your life that you can be pouring love into so that you feel more uplifted throughout the day. And one thing that drastically changed my life is setting a morning routine. You know, in the past, I would just, if I had to get up early for something, it's like I'm gonna get up with not that much time, I'm gonna kind of rush it, and I'm gonna feel that throughout the day. I'm gonna feel tension, I'm gonna feel anxiety, because I didn't even give myself time to get into the day. You know, I didn't do anything for myself, I didn't do anything for source. I just said, let me just start. Well, no wonder I feel tension. So for me, my morning routine every morning, and sometimes, you know, it changes, like sometimes I don't feel like meditating in the morning, so I'll meditate later on. But for the most part, every morning I stretch and I meditate. Stretching because, honestly, I don't know how I went my whole life without stretching every morning. Now that I do, it's like life-changing because we hold a lot of tension in our body, especially after we sleep. We hold a lot of tension in our back, in our hamstrings, maybe in our neck. And if we're not releasing that tension when we rise, then that tension is being stored in our body and staying with us throughout the day. So stretching religiously every morning has definitely, you know, like relaxed me, you know, because like, what is this doing? Like literally, you know, if I'm tight, my emotions are going to be tight. So it has just made me, it's like this feeling of flow. That's how I feel more. Like my days just flow more because my body flows more. And then meditation, you know, we're going to have a whole nother episode on meditation, but meditation is just such a underutilized tool that goes back thousands and thousands of years. And we are taught about meditation usually incorrectly, and that's usually why it doesn't stick with us. And we might do it, people say, oh, I meditate. Okay, how often? Oh, well, I don't do it that much. I'm like, so you don't meditate then, bro, just say that. It's cool, I'm not gonna judge you. Just, why are you saying you meditate, you don't even remember the last time you meditated? You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be an everyday thing, but definitely doing it on a consistent basis, you will definitely see an increase in your focus, in your level of grounding, in your levels of peace, really. It will allow you to have much less mental fog throughout the day. And it's just a great tool to turn to when you feel off. You know, like yesterday, I rose and I just wasn't feeling like myself as much as I normally do. I was a little irritable, I was a little emotional, and I came back home and I just took a minute. I grabbed one of my crystals that is for my heart chakra, and whatever hand is your dominant hand, if you hold the crystal in that hand, you're basically sending that energy outward. If you hold it in your less dominant hand, you're sending it inward. So if I hold, I'm a righty, so if I hold that crystal in my left hand, that I'm sending that energy into me. So I'm sending that love, all of those things that are from that crystal I was using, into myself. Now, if I want to send love outward, like I said, then I would put it in my right hand. So after I meditated, it was just like, it was a huge difference, honestly. Like, I just felt much lighter. Sometimes these things just make us feel very heavy and they weigh us down. And it just made me, you know, did it make me feel completely 100% better? No, you know, and I let myself feel my emotions. I let myself go through the day, and without judgment, like, I shouldn't be feeling this way. But the meditation definitely made me feel lighter. And it also just starts my mind, it like puts my mind in a healthy environment, okay? You know, when things aren't going well or life feels hard, we always resort back to our routines. You choose if you have a healthy routine or if you have shitty routines. So my healthy coping mechanisms, my healthy routines are, you know, meditating, stretching, having nutrient-dense food and drink, speaking high vibrational thoughts to my being, moving my body through stretching, through working out. So those are positive things. And because I've set that routine, when I don't feel good, like I said yesterday, I went back and I resorted back to my meditation. Now, if you don't have those healthy routines, or if you have no routine at all, you're most likely gonna do things that are gonna make you feel worse. If you're smoking a backwood, that's not gonna make you feel better. If you are laying in bed all day because you feel down, that's not gonna make you feel better. If you are engaging in trauma bonding and just calling someone every time you're upset and telling them everything, and then that's it, there's no solution, there's no change, that's not gonna make you feel better. You know, so be cognizant of what you lean on, because it will either help you or it will hinder you. The next thing I want to get into, another thing that I think is really, really life-changing, is journaling. Journaling isn't for everyone, but I do think at least once in a while it can be extremely helpful. Journaling is great when you have a lot of thoughts, like if you're overthinking, and if you feel like you're not getting enough stimulation and you're underthinking, then I recommend reading. But let's go back to journaling for a second. You can journal in an abundance of ways. So when I was building my mental capacities for love, for patience, for all of these things that now I feel very grounded and confident in, I had to set those neural connections, those neural pathways in my brain. Because a neural pathway is like a trail, okay? if you see a trail that nobody walked on, it just looks like dirt, you know, it just looks flat. But then if I take a few steps, okay, I see some indentations. If I keep taking those steps and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, what's going to happen? That path is going to be laid. You will see, oh, this path looks like it's been taken a lot. That's exactly what happens in our brains. So you have to set that pathway so that it is there, laid in your subconscious as well, so that it just becomes normal. You don't have to think about it. You know, so now in my day-to-day life, I don't have to think about, oh, you know, I should say some things I'm grateful for. It's just natural. I wake up, the first thing I do before I touch my phone is I always say a few things internally to myself that I'm grateful for. That sets the precedent for the day. So journaling can be writing a gratitude list in the morning. It can be writing out affirmations for yourself. It can be a free write session. It can be a prompt, and you just write however you feel, whatever comes to you about the prompt. Journaling is a beautiful way to express yourself and get more clarity of your expression. You know, sometimes when we just hold things in our mind, we like topple over these topics and like, well, what if this, and then I don't know, and then it's complicated up here. Let's just take it down. Let's simplify it. And journaling will help you do that. And another powerful thing about journaling is you have your journal. So you can look back on a year ago, 6 months ago, last week, and really feel your growth. Like when I look back on my journals that I've had for years, before I was confident, before I was eating the way I was eating, before I was grateful for life, before I was excited for life, I see how I was writing. I see the thoughts that I was manifesting. And now it's like night and day, you know? So that's another beautiful thing about journaling, is that reflection aspect as well. Next is movement. So blood flow, strength, flexibility, your heart pumping, all of those things through physical movement. And there's an abundance of ways that you can do this. Okay, you do not ever have to set foot in a gym if that's not your thing. And you can be completely healthy and have a strong body and be flexible and be in tune with your vessel. And, you know, me personally, I love to go to the gym because I love to feel and see myself get stronger through certain movements. I like to compete with myself. You know, it's like, okay, I did this much a week ago. Let me see if I can push it. Let me see if I can, you know, it's fun. It's like competitiveness. And it's a time for me to bring my awareness back to my body. So every time I work out, I am telling myself, well, I guess cells, we have multiple parts of ourselves. I'm telling myself affirmations to bring awareness and to bring love and strength to my vessel. So for example, like the other day I was doing some ab workouts and I was holding a weight and, you know, it was getting kind of tiring. So I'm telling myself, your vessel is capable of anything. This strength is helping every single cell, every muscle, every organism in your body function at a higher level. I'm telling myself these things every time I do it because everything is energy based. And when I feed myself those positive, strengthening thoughts, the exercise feels easier. Or I can be like, oh, this shit is so heavy. Oh my God, I just want to be done. And I'm gonna feel that, and it's not gonna feel good, you know? So the gym is one way that you can move your body. Obviously stretching. Yoga is very powerful, has, you know, obviously goes back thousands of years. I was recently introduced to capoeira, which is a Afro-Brazilian martial arts slash dance style of moving your body. And I actually really enjoyed it because a lot of the times going to the gym is very much in your masculine. It's a lot of pushing, it's a lot of heavy, it's a lot of like, ugh, type of feeling, you know? And especially as women, but we all have feminine energy. We all have a yin and a yang. We have our masculine, we have our feminine. And obviously, I'm just going to be more in tune with my feminine as a woman. But when you dance and when you do things with your hips, you are utilizing that feminine energy. You are connecting to your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is useful for creativeness, for your sexual parts of you. So you need to be intertwining these things. If you're only going to the gym, you're only focusing on the masculine, okay? And that's why dance can be such a powerful and beautiful form of expression, but also, you know, get you physically moving, get your blood flowing, all the other things that go along with that. So I would recommend that. And lastly, calisthenics, which is body weights. That's something that I'm looking to get into more and learn more about. But a lot of times when we are going to the gym, we're very strong, but only in one motion. And the thing about calisthenics is that it allows you to truly be strong in different forms and in all of your body parts. You know, you might think, well, damn, I'm super strong. I can do that. That shit looks easy. And you do it and it's like, no. You haven't been working out that muscle, and that muscle is like, what the fuck is going on? You know, so integrating all these different types of movement is also going to shock your muscles, which is going to help build muscle if that's something that you're looking to do. Now, if you're someone that's looking to build muscle, you also need to understand that flexibility is a huge part of that. If you're not increasing your flexibility, but you're increasing your muscle strength, there's going to be an issue, you know? So they both need to work synergistically. And that's why stretching is so important. And men especially tend to be very tight, especially around the groin area. Men just usually don't stretch enough. So everyone should be stretching, but men especially, get a little mat, put some nice lush lo-fi on, maybe light some incense, set a nice vibe, and just come back in your body, do some deep breathing. It's like a magical relaxation experience, truly. The next thing is the sun. The sun, I have just been learning so much about the sun and how truly beautiful he is, especially for people that are more melanated. The sun is made up of carbon, okay? So your melanin is carbon. So when the sun is beaming down at you and feeding you all of this goodness, it's not just feeding you vitamin D, it's feeding you all of these minerals, one of them being carbon. And especially if you're melanated, that carbon is like literally your fuel. And 75% of black people have a vitamin D deficit. So this is extremely important for all people, but it's even more powerful for people that are more melanated. It's truly going to give your vessel the energy it needs to thrive, okay? The sun is so powerful, and the sun also just gives me such a loving energy. You know, like when you go outside and you're in the shade and then you step in and the sun is beaming on your face, and it's just this like warm, loving energy. We all need that every single day. Something that plays into that is something called our circadian rhythm. Our circadian rhythm is basically our biological clock. So our clock tells us when we're tired, you know, when to get up. It's like basically like our sleep schedule, kind of. And when you get sunlight in the morning, that actually helps to increase your melatonin, which is a chemical that is released in your body, which helps you fall asleep later on at night. So that's another interesting thing too. If you get sun in the morning, it will give you a better night's sleep. And it also helps to regulate your sleep cycle in other ways. Some other things about the sun is obviously it aids in stronger immune systems. So people that usually don't have enough sun have weaker immune systems. So there's an abundance of reasons to be in the sun. Don't let people tell you that the sun is not good for you, okay? And another thing is all of these natural modalities that we should be incorporating, if they're giving you problems, then that's telling you about your own internal state. So if you can't be in the sun for too long without being uncomfortable, your internal state is not healthy, because your body should be wanting the sun. And it's like, oh, I'm uncomfortable, I'm hot, then something is not right, and you most likely need to detox. Next is water intake. We should be having somewhere around a gallon of water, of spring water a day. I have been learning more about, because water is H2O. Now the water from fruit is called H3O2, H3O2. So I've been learning more about how beneficial the water that is inside fruit is. And as I learn more, I'll definitely share more with you guys on that as well. But we need water for so many reasons. Our organs need it to flush out toxins. It regulates our temperature. It helps with our largest organ, which is our skin. If you're not hydrated, it will show in your skin. Removes waste, and it helps with your brain functioning, because 75% of your brain is made from water. So if you're having, you know, like foggy days and kind of like this mental fog, like you're not clear, you most likely need some more water. And then the last thing I want to touch on is feeding your spirit with positive thoughts and vibrations. And you can do this through looking in the mirror and saying verbal affirmations. You can do this through writing affirmations. You can do this through just thinking in your head, just thoughts, and catching yourself when you think something that is not healthy, really. That's not going to raise your vibration, it's going to lower it. Because you might say to yourself, oh, I was joking, it's just a joke. Your spirit doesn't know the difference, whether it's a joke or not. You said that word, and that word holds a vibration. Whether you want to backtrack now and say, oh, that was just a joke, don't even do that. Why would you even play with your spirit like that? Why would you not give him or her all the goodness they need? The thoughts that you think play a direct role in your reality. Direct. If I'm thinking negative, harmful, just low thoughts, that's what I'm going to experience. Period. Now, if I have a thought that comes in my head like, damn, I'm not really that smart, or I'm not this, or I'm not that, all you have to do is catch yourself, ask yourself, why did I say that? Why did I say that about myself? Explore it, and then say, you know what? I'm sorry. I did not mean to say that. I am everything. I have an immense amount of intellect. I have an immense amount of confidence in my brain. And then replace it with all of these loving thoughts. And like I said, you know, with the neural pathway conversation, is as you continuously say these thoughts to yourself, you won't even have to think, oh, I need to recorrect. You will just be on this healthy wavelength. There won't be a lot of recorrecting. At first, yes, there will be, and give yourself patience, give yourself grace, because things take time. You don't just say an affirmation for a day or for a week and then boom, I feel better. No, these things take time. They take intentionality. They take love. People want to talk about discipline all the time. Well, what is discipline? It's self-love. It's loving yourself enough to fucking do what you said you're going to do. Period. So if you're not there yet, that's fine. Most of us don't even, majority of people don't even put thought into even changing it. So if you're on the path to changing it, you should already be applauding yourself. You feel me? So that positive talk and thought is really everything. And I forgot to set an intention today, so we're gonna just do it next time. But I just see so many people every day, really, that are lost, that are sad, that are confused, that have low confidence, that have low self-love, and it makes me sad to see that, because I want everyone to live a fulfilling life. I want everyone to know what it feels like to wake up and to truly be excited for life, to truly love your spirit, to truly love the vessel that your spirit resides in. And these things aren't just going to happen unless we are intentional about it. So I hope that these are some things that you think are going to be valuable for you. You know, I hope you implement them. I hope you find your own modalities. You know, maybe it's if you are someone that likes to create physical pieces of art. Maybe it's drawing. Maybe it's whatever. You know, it's endless, really. The things that you can lean into to really help you, you know, to really make you feel more peaceful. Because what we're not trying to do is be like, I just want to be happy. Happiness is just an emotion, just like anything else. We're not looking to feel a temporary emotion, okay? Happiness will come and go. We are looking for a feeling of peace, a feeling of being grounded, and that will stay with you. So even when my emotions feel heavy, even when my emotions feel difficult, uncomfortable, whatever it is, I still always feel a level of peace within me. I don't feel all haywire like I used to. I can still be sad. I can still be frustrated. I can still feel all the normal emotions that we feel when we live this human experience. But I can also be grounded at the same time. It's not one or the other. So I really encourage you to lean into those things and explore, because it's a fun thing to do. It's fun to go out and find new things that you love. Oh, damn, I didn't realize that made me so happy. I didn't realize that playing basketball made me so happy, but I love to play fucking basketball. How easy, like, that's nothing for me to drive to the park or walk to the park and play basketball. But if it's something that really makes me feel happy and in the moment happy, but more like a long-lasting feeling of peace, of fulfillment from my day, that's what we are desiring. So that's something that I wish for all of you to cultivate in yourselves. And then one other thing too, because I have my crystals right here, is crystals are such a beautiful way to guide you, to just help you through difficult moments. You know, I didn't fully understand how powerful crystals were before I just wasn't as in tune with nature and how powerful her energy is. And now that I am, I really lean on crystals for all of their beautiful properties. and I love to have them on me. I love to just put one in my pocket. Like, it's like I desire that. You know, it's not like I need it. Like no, I don't need anything outside of myself. You only need whatever is internal. But these can definitely help you throughout the day. And whatever you think you need help with, like let's say your emotions are hard for you to manage. You know, it feels difficult to manage your emotions. There's a crystal for that. You need a crystal for childhood trauma, for getting over childhood trauma. You need a crystal for your heart chakra, for your throat chakra, for this, for that. There is an abundance. That is Mother Nature. She is abundant for us. She is constantly feeding us all of this love, and it's up to you if you choose to indulge in her love. And one of her acts of love is how she made these beautiful crystals. Now, crystals, I think, just have a bad rap because, like most things spiritual, people take it out of context and they kind of ruin it. You know, like we're in LA and all these rich white moms want to be like, oh, I have crystals and crystals this and crystals that. And it's like, okay, but are you even understanding like anything else about spirituality, or are you just going to talk about crystals? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't talk about crystals if you're not also talking about your shadow self. Don't talk about crystals if you're not talking about indigenous people. Okay? So don't allow the whitewashing of spirituality to ruin or take away your experience of what it was meant to be. So, like I said, I hope this was helpful for you. Please let me know in the comments if you use any of these modalities. If you don't, I would love to hear what you use, you know, how you use it and why it's helpful for you. I'm always looking for new things to try and to implement and, you know, just to experiment. Life is a big experiment, and if we just keep doing the same things over and over, it can get boring. You know, life is meant to be lived. It is truly meant to be lived and experienced. So I thank you all for joining me again on episode 4. I can't believe it's episode 4. I can't wait for it to be like episode 50 or some shit like that. You know, it's going to be so exciting. But I appreciate everyone that has been engaging, that has just been feeding me love. Every podcast that I do is just meant to act as a guide, you know? Like I always say, you are your own best guide, but sometimes learning from other people's experiences can be very beneficial. You know, that doesn't mean that you take them for what it is, and no, take everything with a grain of salt. But I hope that I can just be here to bring some helpful things to your awareness and maybe things that you just weren't cognizant of before. So I wish everyone a beautiful, fulfilling week with modalities that are helpful to you, that make you feel more fulfilled and peaceful. And we'll see you all next week.